Psychic refers to experiences or abilities typically regarded as outside the sphere of physical science, involving forces of spiritual or supernatural origin. The word is derived from the Greek and can be linked to Greek mythology, where the maiden Psyche was the deification of the human soul. Interestingly, the Casey readings define psychic ability as an inherent attribute of the soul, whether latent or exhibited. In ancient times, seers and prophets served as counselors and advisors to the rich and powerful. In Egypt, the priests of Ra at Memphis acted as seers. In ancient Babylonia, seers were referred to as Nabu, who were responsible for consulting with their god and delivering oracles or pronouncements regarding any particular question or problem. The oracle at Delphi in ancient Greece was believed to be able to deliver prophecies inspired by Apollo during rituals beginning in the 8th century BC. In 16th century France, the seer Nostradamus wrote collections of prophecies that have become famous worldwide, particularly with regard to undated predictions of disasters, plagues, earthquakes, wars, floods, invasions, murders, droughts, and battles. To be sure, the scope of psychic phenomena is not restricted to prophecy and fortune-telling. Modern parapsychologists study phenomena as diverse as aura reading, out-of-body experience, clairvoyance, mediumship, remote viewing, retrocognition, telekinesis, and telepathy. Critics are quick to point out inconsistencies in parapsychological research and difficulties in replicating findings. And yet, according to numerous public opinion polls, a significant portion of the general public believe in the reality or possibility of psychic phenomena. Certainly, there is no shortage of practitioners claiming psychic ability and offering their services for a fee, which raises the question: is there a valid role for psychic experience in the search for God? Since souls are inherently psychic, one may wonder why genuine psychic ability appears so rarely as to be incredible for the materially minded. The story of the soul is a journey through materiality in all its realms and dimensions of consciousness. Involution, the involvement of souls in flesh bodies on planet Earth, was not necessarily part of the curriculum for soul development in this universe, and yet souls could choose and did make that choice to enter in. With involution came a diminishing in psychic ability as the soul became entrapped, ensnared, and encased in flesh bodies with powerful sensory systems that focused outward into the world. The sensuality of fleshly sensation is so potent as to restrict the range of sensory experience. Thus, psychic awareness or extrasensory perception became latent, in the background of soul consciousness, so to speak. So much so that overt psychic experience tends to be the exception rather than the rule for souls in human form, even to this day. With involution, there was also a decrease in the intensity of creative energy that could be expressed in flesh bodies. With spiritual evolution, the human form is gradually changing to accommodate the higher vibrational energy that is native to the soul. With this evolution in physiology, we can expect consciousness itself to expand as psychic phenomena become more prevalent. This is all part of the educational progression in soul development as souls attend to the lessons of life in the classroom of planet Earth. Some members of the Norfolk Study Group No. 1, which assembled in 1931 and requested readings from Edgar Cayce, had a strong desire to develop their own psychic ability. The entranced Cayce did not address psychic development directly in the series of readings given for this group. Rather, the approach was to focus on spirituality, allowing psychic expression to flow naturally from the soul, which is its source. By grounding the developmental process in the activities of daily life and the interpersonal structure of a small, dedicated group, a safe container was created for the psychic experiences that were manifested by group members over time. This pattern of soul development through applied spirituality is consistent throughout the Cayce readings that address psychic development. The readings insist that the process be guided by inner attunement and outward application directed by a spiritual ideal. Cayce also gave readings for individuals who deviated from this approach and suffered the consequences, sometimes as physical symptoms or illness, at other times as mental and emotional distress associated with mental illness. The New Age movement of the 20th century also encountered these aberrations, sometimes referred to as Kundalini crisis or spiritual emergency. Keep in mind that psychic experience requires an increased rate of vibratory energy. Individuals who have not prepared the body and mind for this raised vibration put themselves at risk. The Cayce readings warn of carelessness or selfish motives in the pursuit of psychic development. Since psychic aptitude is an innate ability, like any other talent, musical, artistic, and the like, it is subject to the whims and abuses common to any human activity. Just because an individual claims to be psychic or even demonstrates obvious psychic ability does not mean that the information conveyed is true, useful, or constructive. This is consistent with other spiritual traditions, such as yogic practices, where premature psychic manifestations, called siddhis, is regarded as a distraction or hindrance to higher spiritual development. The presence of a guru or master to guide the process in the context of a spiritual community provides a safe container for the increased vibratory energy raised in the process. As a Western approach to spiritual awakening, the Cayce readings regard psychic ability as an innate expression of the soul that will manifest naturally as a result of applied spirituality. The psychic experiences are signs along the spiritual path, expressions of a developing soul on its journey back to its source.